out on Twitch, big bro. Twitch gonna give you the most money.
See what happened on Twitch.
Twitch will give you the most money, man. Facebook is good, but then you gotta just get over there to the thing. Oh shit, got the wrong webcam on. Well, I'm on OBS there. Activate video capture. Scene two. Okay. Things closed. Activate, deactivate. Okay, where you at, baby? There we go. Okay. Mm-mm. Okay. What's happening, folks? About to get started here at the Voice It Radio. My EP in the house. Come on, y'all be doing me. Make it hard on me. Come on, why are you doing me like this?
We're gonna go live on Twitch today. I don't know what that's gonna do. We'll see.
All right, Facebook. We gonna miss Facebook.
Can I?
It's a way. I don't know. You might have to open another Facebook thing up, but
You know what Twitch thing? The nice little shot over up Twitch. Holy shit.
shit. What ain't this bitch on? Come on, baby. Don't do me like this, man. Wow, why is it right here? Okay. Where is you at there? Where's this one?
Now let's go to Facebook.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna try that music, baby.
Okay. I don't know why this shit ain't working right.
You ready?
Just 1 second. I don't know why I'm not on over here. I cannot activate this stupid ass camera. It's right here. Activate. It's on. And it say okay. And now I got no picture. Where's the picture? Oh well, take it to the old school. Kicking a dead horse. And get to it. Always something, man. Why is this not working right? Test SS 1 2 3. Why ain't you working right, folks? Got no idea. Okay. 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 Go live. Okay. Next. No. Go live. Smoking, 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 smoking on. Hey, hey. Mm-hmm. What's up, everybody on the TikTok? We over here at the Voice of Radio. We do a live radio show here in Cleveland, Ohio. My man EP up in here. Shout out to the YouTube. Shout out to the Face to the Bookies. We almost there. When you're going live on the radio, it takes a little couple technical difficulties at times, but we in this bitch. One and only EP up in this joint. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We smoking, 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 smoking on. Okay, Google, what's the current weed law in Ohio?
In Ohio, recreational marijuana is legal for adults ages 21 and older. You can legally possess up to 2.5 ounces of cannabis flower and 15 grams of extract. Key rules as of 2026. Purchase. You can buy cannabis at licensed dispensaries across the state. Home grow. Adults can grow up to 6 plants per person with a maximum of 12 plants per household. Consumption.
Ready?
Use is
Yeah.
strictly limited to private property. Smoking or vaping in public is
Yeah, here we go, here we go.
Here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Voice of Radio studio here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. My name is John Will. They like to call me the weed man around here. I have a podcast called the Sohigho Cannabis Company here at the Voice of Radio. We like to talk about cannabis, products here in the state of Ohio for all you people 21 and over who want some real information here. We got that for you. We like to talk about information, cultivation, and the legalization of the cannabis plant here in Ohio. As usual, my main man, Voice of Radio president, on the board today. My man EP in the house, man. Thank you so much. Like we like to say around here at the Voice of Radio, if it didn't happen, if you didn't hear about it here, it probably didn't happen in Cleveland, Ohio, or around the world. We keep it 100 over here. We appreciate the opportunity for this platform every time we get on, and we are going to blow this up. Second show of 2026. It's a lot that's going on with the legal department here in our state and ever in our sister state. Over up in, I ain't gonna know, it's our stepsister state, Michigan, up the way, because they did change state laws up there. A lot going on, EP, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you ain't got one of them good jobs right now and you ain't smoking, it just seems like so much shit going on in the world that my man EP, you just get out and go golf, man. If you ain't got a recreational activity, smoke some weed, man. Take a little break off, take a little load off. We gonna give you some information today. Hope y'all have a light time, have a good time with us. Call us in, send us a chat on any of these social medias. We over on Facebook. Shout out to my Facebook crowd that hold me down. Shout out to my doggone what's them people name over at TikTok, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And shout out to my standby as YouTube people, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to buyers who tapped in and always tapping in. Shout out to my man JJ down in Columbus. I see you in the house, man. I appreciate you. Shout out to my girl Deidre, one of my number one gromies here, who doing very good. She about a week off harvesting. We gonna talk about that a little bit today. So shout out to all my people. Really, I'm gonna give a special shout out today to my little seedlings on this page. My man Johnny Trey, uh, Ali Belly, uh, Christabel, and my main homegirl Lil Lana. So now, how y'all doing today, man? So over in the legal news, as we know, the law they did pass that law in Ohio, so it's gonna go in effect about March 26th. I believe that is the actual implementing the new terms of the Ohio bill. So the biggest thing that I want you guys that's going to Michigan know that it is going to be no out of state weed, and I'm not sure how they're going to force this, to be honest with y'all. There will be no out of state weed. Your transportation laws will be changed. So pretty much, guys, you got to probably quit smoking in the car because you will be able to get ticketed for it. Now, I don't think you'll get no different. See, saying that in Cleveland, like around the world, if y'all don't know, here in Cleveland, Ohio, and basically Ohio, people smoke weed in their car. Just the other thing about that that's weird, EP, is that a person that's got kids at the house, they almost saying that you can't sit in your driveway and smoke in a car and it's damn cold outside. And that's ridiculous because it is private property. You're not breaking the law. The law says is you can't consume be intoxicated while operating a vehicle. If you are over 21 and on private property, I think you're gonna have a hard legal time if you are not breaking the law to get any tickets. So it's a little funky. You know, don't rock the boat, don't tilt the boat over. If you like regularly smoking and your car stink like weed, you know they might ask you for a couple things. So if you know your car has got a lot of stinking like weed and you traveling, the law is gonna read that your weed has to be in the back seat behind. It has to be as far away from you in the cabin of the car that it can be. They are suggesting that it needs to be behind the back seat. If you really want to keep it 100, put it in the trunk. So that's going to be the new laws for transporting weed. You still can carry around 2.5 ounces of weed, but let's not forget, you still can grow 6 to 12 plants. Now, I did hear that they was going to try to crack down on how much weed you can keep in your house, which is ludicrous. You cannot, it's like regulating nature, which is hard. Nature just does what it does. If you grow a plant and it grows too much, and here's another thing, it's not like the government has an agent coming over to your house to check how much your grow is and gonna wait for you to dry it out, put it in the jars, and I guess they want you to bring it back down there to bust on yourself. I don't think nobody in the world will do nothing like that. And it's almost like you not being a responsible adult. Like it has not been a problem since the rollout. I have not heard of nobody getting their grow house busted. As a matter of fact, the one precedent that we have in the state was a guy got busted with his home grow, moving it down in Monroe County. I think he was going like from Mansfield down to Columbus. They call him Monroe County, for those who don't know, is in between, say, Mansfield and Columbus. He on the highway, they bust him, they pull him over, he get caught with 10 pounds. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? He gets caught with 10 pounds. You can look up the case law. They let him go because they didn't know what to do. He obviously was just moving and transporting his stuff. How can that be illegal? You are actually not doing nothing. You're not trying to commit a crime. His intent was not to go and distribute or anything. His intent was to move his house from one location to the next. State of Ohio, following the law, let that man completely go. So when you look at that as case law that's on the books already, I don't think we're gonna have too many changes to that. And it's always been a thing about enforcement, though. How are you guys going to enforce this law? We do not have all of the potholes fixed in this road. We could do a lot of work up here in Cleveland on schools. We got a lot of kids. We need to be getting these youth programs up. We coming into the summer. It's so much turmoil. Who really gives a shit about weed? And why you letting the cigarette makers still run crazy? You let alcohol get all out of control. Fentanyl is still a thing. I think last week we was on the radio, and here in Northeast Ohio, more people are dying from cocaine again than fentanyl. Ain't that a trip? So fentanyl is cocaine. Then took fentanyl over as the number one killer in the illicit drugs, and you over here worrying about pot, which the state said is legal medical and legal for you to do recreational. And then you're just going to add a big bunch of bureaucracy on top of it after the fact. And we all know that this thing, uh, the president of the United States descheduled that to Schedule 3. We're not going to see no effects of that for 2 or 3 years. It is take a long time for federal laws to be changed. You just think about the amount of paperwork and legal situation that governments and a lot of things, local governments have to change about the law since it is not going to be a Schedule 1, which is good. So when it come down to Schedule 1, that means a lot of local people going to have to rewrite these laws and stuff. So we kind of looking forward to that. I still think it should be age gated. The older I get, the more I say, like, I don't know if a 16 or I'm gonna say younger than 16-year-olds should be messing with their emotional development and maybe become a habitual cannabis user. If you using it like say me or EP, where we not gonna go get on. I ain't gonna speak for EP. Me, I'm not gonna go get on the psychotropic drugs. I'm not getting on all of that stuff. So I just use a little bit. If y'all want to know, for me, I have to use about, usually it's only about 10 milligrams of sativa gummy. That's in the morning. And I usually don't smoke no indica all morning long. It wouldn't be to about now because it just don't, I'm not productive. It's not no healing properties for me. And I never like to feel like I'm high during the day. Ain't that crazy? I don't. I like to do my work. I like to be clear headed. And then when I get off, that way the medicine works for me. So when I am anxious or I'm having some PTSD problems, the medicine still works for me. So I use that in the daytime. I change that, try to change that off. Another thing that I want to mention to y'all about smoking too is take a couple weeks off, take a month off to reset your cortisol levels. And what that is that's the depressing part of you that will make yourself not feel good. And you want more endorphins that naturally be produced. So when you like constantly bombarding your system, and it's specific to the individual. So you should have a career with it. If you having a career with it, try different things along the way. Find out what works for you and be responsible about this. We have so much more science about the plant, and that might be the best thing about the deregulation and the descheduling of it from a federal level. We will have more research on it. We will know almost everything. I think myself, they worried about that because I don't know if everybody remember the RMA drugs when they was going around with the COVID and everything. What those drugs do is they come in and they really tailor itself to your bloodstream. If we start doing that, what we and really that's nothing new. Because to be honest with you, you should be eating the plants from around this area that we grow in because it'll keep you healthy. Back in the day on the old farms, people used to, like it or not, people shitting and pissing on their land, and somehow the produce and that food from there kept those people healthier. And we just get so far away from that. Right this year in the Akron garden that I look over, we did an experiment and I can't wait. Three of us licked our seeds to see if we could try to. We're doing some bro science. So I tried to, like me, I was a little retarded. I ain't gonna say that, that's a bad word. I kept the seed in my mouth and I like got it soft and then I let it germinate to see if I could add like my saliva, some DNA to go on there, and I'm gonna grow that. What the story behind that is that some people grew tomatoes that they looked and then it seemed to have extra vitamins and nutrition for each person that was different from each crop. So while we out here experimenting and growing, I'm gonna get at a little bit of a try. So that's one of the good benefits of that stuff. So I want to break down a little bit when we talking about that, like the differences of strain. Every now and then we need to go back over. Like right now, it's so hybrid dominant that it's not an indica or a sativa. It's very hard. You can find indica leaning or sativa leaning. So for everybody that don't know, indica means in the couch. That's that Netflix and chill kind of put you down. The sativa is more in your head, don't put you to sleep. To just say that all sativa or all indica will act that way is wrong. It's a lot of components to make that different. You can have a good indica that's not like couch weed that won't put you to sleep, and that's really a lot of CBD in will make you go to sleep. So if you're looking for some sleep aid, sleep gummies have an extra amount of CBD in it, and that'll help you go to sleep. Excuse me. Uh, it's very important to know those different strains because a lot of people is going on. It's the same with gummies too. Indica gummy is going to be different from a sativa gummy. Sativa gummies, depending on what you are doing, like indica gummies, which is most prevalent, and probably everybody mix everything up into one bowl, all of their trimmings and shaking everything and make that extraction. That's normally the gummies that you're gonna eat. Those gummies are more good for pain, it seems like. Like a little bit of that is a better pain reliever. That indica one, I use it for pain relief, but let me tell you how you have to use it. You use it as a distraction, so you don't sit there and focus and obsess on what you're smoking on, and to me, it just plays in the background, and it does a good job for me. So that is that's how we go about it. So it is a lot. Definitely read up. It's all different, and the biggest thing I want to say about that is that when everybody's chemistry is different. So me and EP, we smoke similar, but we don't smoke alike, and we have different effects on different things. I see. So I'm just gonna use my hot mess in the evening crew. Miss Minky could eat gummies. Miss Kathy can't. It's just a weird dynamic. Miss Minky don't even smoke like a whole lot, but also she could eat more. It's a trip. It just depends on who you are and how. Oh shit! I gotta get something to drink. That's my bad. And who you are and how that is going in that. But remember, Indica is more in the couch. Sativa is more like people like to try to say it's like a more of a head bud and a thinking bud. It's sort of like that. You real get into your head. If I got to do a lot of thinking over there, I definitely want some sativa, and you could go hard. The one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that if you don't like the buzz, you can get THC free drops, gummies, and everything. That's the stuff that you find in a grocery store, not the gas station. Sometimes the gas station got real products, but usually if you go to a good grocery store, say Dave's, they have great CBD products that will help you as a sleep aid. So if you guys been trying all of the narcotics and you can't get to sleep, go in there and get you a gummy with CBD in it, a sleep gummy, and give it a try. I promise you, it's probably gonna knock you out for the whole night, and you'll get a rest of sleep. You'll get good rest that night. For me, it just keeps me in like REM sleep real good to the morning. I never wake up hungover, feeling like it's too much, and I feel like I need to stay in longer. It just depends on what your sleep pattern is. If you caught up, if you're getting all the sleep you can, it usually is great sleep. Shout out to my people Made by Farmers up in Michigan. They have some of the best products out. I just turned my homegirl over at Lucky's Market on, so they're gonna give you guys a call. Uh, Shout out to my man John and the whole crew up at the farm. I appreciate y'all. Y'all can look back on the YouTube at the world's biggest bubble hash machine, and that's where we go. And that's where we should be headed to. That place up there with the bubble hash machine is the cleanest extraction to make all of our edibles. Bubble hash, not to be in the weed, is just non-solventless. That means they don't use no chemicals to get the THC extraction to go into your edible products. They just use ice water, basically, screen mesh, filter out the good place, more mechanical than chemical, and then what you are left with is what's the crystals or the trichomes off the weed. They harvest that, freeze that, and then what that state would be called crumble hash at that point. And after that, you can move it to wax, edibles. You can put it in the carts. It's a lot that you can do with it from that standpoint, and you can also cook with it. Guys, if you got leftover wax around the house, do you know that you could put a spoonful of your wax? Not spoonful. You're rich if you got a spoonful. Put your wax into your edibles, and they will get you high. It is absolutely the truth. Once that bubble hash, I got to think about activation. You still might have to decarb it though. I just thought about that because it's not going to activate till you get to 250. So you might have to heat that up a little bit to 250 for about 25 minutes. I'm gonna have to get back with y'all next week. I promise you, I'll get back to y'all and get that together for y'all. So absolutely. And I would be remiss to tell you guys, like I never like to come on here and never tell you guys about the dangers of eating too many gummies. You have to go low and slow. And what I mean by that is low dosage and eat them slow. You have to eat 5 to 10 milligrams for most people is a great starting point. Don't go more than that. And you have to give it 35 minutes to an hour for the onset. Depending on what type of weed it is and what the strain is and what's in your stomach and a lot of other little variables, it's going to take about 35 to 45 to about an hour before you start feeling the effects of it. So the problem is everybody feel like they ate it. 35 minutes is about too long. They be like, I don't feel nothing. And the classic thing to do is to eat another one. You eat another one, and then that's exactly when you're gonna start feeling the first one. And if you ate the next one and you can't handle that onset of that one, you better brace for shock because it's coming at you super hard. So be careful eating gummies. Like I said, we go low and slow right here on eating gummies. And be very careful. Almost need to take a I'm gonna be all right. I did not bring no water in though. Fuck, I got a little tickle in my throat though. But shout out to everybody, man. Shout out, send me a little shout out. Give me a couple likes on these things, couple follows on this thing, man. I appreciate this. Shout out to Facebook too. I do got a little tickle in this though. I don't know today, EP. Uh, over here in cultivation, yeah. We getting close. Like my homegirl Deidre, I'm sure, man. I miss my people down in Akron. Y'all know what it is, man. But I hope you tuning in, man. I like to take a look at your garden. You still can send me some pictures and take a look at that one over there. Uh, Let me know how it's going. But over there, a lot of people are getting to the end. Like, so if you started with us like toward November, you should definitely be ready about to get that stuff out the tent. Big question where I'm at right now and visiting everybody. Is it done yet? How do you know if it's done yet, EP? Great question. I'm glad you asked. The best and only way is like I tell everybody, the plant is your best tool for measurement on weed. You cannot beat the barometer of the plant. And what I mean by that is the plant will tell you everything it needs. It just is like a meter if you know what you're looking for. When your plant is getting to the end, so say you got good buds, they looking good, they thick, they got crystals on it, you got all your little white hair sticking out of it, orange hair sticking out of it, and you want to know if it's done. There is one surefire way, and that means you need to get a jeweler's loop or get you a microphone. They sell the light up magnifiers that go to about 10x, 100x, and you look at the trichomes. The trichomes must, I repeat, must start turning a little bit. That's when you see a fluorescent green, blue, green in the trichomes. That means it's maturing. Right after that, it should start getting cloudy. Right after they get cloudy, if you let them go too far, they will go to a red tint. The further you let it's gonna like put you to sleep. But as soon as your trichome, I'm gonna bring some pictures in so I could show you guys. Because the trichome is like it looks like a mushroom, like a traditional mushroom, but it's real tight. It has a ball and it has a stem on it. And on top of the ball, on top of the stem of a trichome, it's like a globe. Inside that globe is when you know if your weed is done. You cannot see that good with your naked eye at all. I don't know. You got to be Superman. I don't know who can see inside that thing like that, but just get you the $5 jeweler's loop from Drug Mark or wherever, or like just the little thing. You look at diamonds to see it in there. You can see it. If you hold it up and look at it past the light, you can see all the way through there. And you want to make sure that they're not clear. My homegirl Deidre, she is there. They look so good. Nothing has changed over. The trichomes have not matured enough. If you go too early, you are going to be risking your products. Just it's going to taste so green. It has not developed. The other telltale sign, trichomes number one, right? The other telltale signs is the fade on your cola leaves, and that means the leaves that surround the bud. The leaves around the bud, they have growth out of them, and they look like they fading yellow, but it's a different yellow, like low phosphorus yellow or like yellow in edges. It won't look like that. The whole plant will start like the leaves changing in the fall. That's what I want you guys to imagine. Your leaves will be changing, like your green leaves when they go into the fall, they just naturally start going brown. That's what your weed leaves are doing right there. That is most of the time, depending on the strain, A good rule of thumb is all of the green matter is out of those leaves that's around your bud. So the buds are sticking out of that color. So that's another thing that you should do right there. You should be trimming back like all your fan leaves around this time. If you getting ready to harvest, you should have lollipop that thing. And what that is stripping off all of the extra leaves that's just catching light. We like to call those the fan leaves. The fan leaves are the big leaves that convert the light into chlorophyll. So that's producing the energy. It's exchanging the light energy in the plant energy, and that's what's making the fruit. That chlorophyll is that green taste when you cut your plant down too early. If you cut it down way too early, I don't think you'll ever get it back because it's like a green banana. That's the best thing I could tell you. It is not ripe enough. So you guys have to wait. Don't forget the two things I'm telling you guys to do is the trichomes, number one. Get a jeweler's loop or get a magnifying glass, electric magnifier, and look at your trichomes and see if they are turning frosty white. They will actually become cloudy. It's just like a miracle if you watch it. And here's the other thing that if you don't know, pick one leaf to touch your plants at. Every time you touch your buds, you are breaking trichomes. Get this straight. You growing and it's your first grow and you feeling all on your bud. Every time you touch your bud like that and you squeeze it, you breaking trichomes. If you don't care, we don't care. But trichomes is where the THC production is happening. You don't want to stop that. What I like to do is just get one leaf and I'll pull one leaf over to myself. I try not to grab my buds at this thing. And trust me, when you get to cutting it down and handling it, you gonna that's gonna be out. But hopefully your plant is matured all the way, and that's the thing. You don't want to stop the growth of those trichomes at anything by just going around and squeezing all your plants. You're gonna take that plant down, and it's not gonna be your favorite one. The one that's at the back of your tent that you don't touch as most usually has always got the best properties, in my opinion. That's not 100% surely all the time. But don't forget the two things that I'm telling you. Just to reiterate, look at the clarity of the trichomes and we want them cloudy. At least you want that fluorescentness in there. And then also you want the fade on your cola leaves. You want your leaves to fade out like it's going in the fall. Not your big fan leaves. You want those greens still producing energy. Around the buds, you want those leaves to start looking like it's going in the fall. And it's almost beautiful. Like my homegirl, this one, they went from yellow and the inside was green. I know we grew FFMC and it was more like yellow to purpley. Other times you get leaves that just start going straight purple and then they might yellow around the edges. They are still very healthy leaves, but they are making that transformation. Just think about that. It's like a growing season. The plant is thinking of spring, summer, fall, then winter you should be harvesting. If you think about that and think about what a tree does during those cycles, it'll give you a good reference point to what you are looking at as your leaves on a plant, specifically the leaves around the bud. So that's so important that you know nothing is going to tell you the health of your plant more than the leaves itself. So give it an extra time. And if you don't know, ask somebody. And if you really don't know, leave it on there for a week past what you think. Mark my words, everybody. I'm telling you right now. If you don't know, leave it on there for a whole nother week. It's just a good rule of thumb. You just will not go wrong. I would rather you have you can't overdo it. You can't overdo weed. I ain't gonna lie. If you stay on there for too long, it is gonna turn, like I said, all red. The crystals will be red and it'll be knockout medicine. But I would rather it go a little bit long where you got like 10 to 20%, because if when you leave it long, they'll start going red, than having 50 that green smoking like hay taste. Man, that is the most nastiest taste. You done grew for 3, 4 months, and now you got get ready to cure. When you can't even get that back and cure, it takes you like two. It take a long time, just double your time of curing after that. So it's very important. A lot of times when you get to this stage of the gardens, everybody, nutrients, unless your leaves are looking unhealthy, like they're not producing light, you should almost be done adding any soil to it. A lot of people be adding like Humboldt Gold, all of the sugary things to make better fruit. Like a lot of people feel like they add extra sauce in toward that. Some people don't believe in that. Zero. A lot of people right now is just going straight on water. This is another thing that I just found out. You guys' watering schedule is kind of trashy right now. Look at my man 430C. When you come out of vegetation and go into bud, that is when you are on a water cycle. All to your plant is over with. You should be on 3 or 4 days watering, folks. It is way more scheduled in bud. A lot of people watering every day, maybe not a lot. It's good to see it, but unless you in some flush type situation, you probably overcooking your roots. Don't forget, you still all the way through this, you can have root bound. And root bound means that all of the roots just gonna grow together and it's gonna stunt the growth of it, and that's about it. But you really want your roots out to the edge of the out to the edge of the pot. That's real healthy like that. They're not out there, they're like gathered up. If you leave that too wet and it becomes a ball, it will never dry out. It will take so long to dry out that that will be moist and you got all kinds of critters. That's usually when I see people have bugs. When you come in and it seems like there's a whole lot of like fruit flies or whatever that is, it's over here. I forgot which one it was. It's a couple ones that come from too much moisture, and you also risk the chance of mold coming on too. So you got to make sure you dry out. But your your watering schedule and budding when you get ready to flower budding, same terminology. That means you out of vegetation. Vegetation starts before you switch your lights from 12 to 12. Soon as you switch your lights from 12 to 12 and you go into fruit making, bud production, flowering, all the same top, all the same meaning, just a different word. That's when you can't do any more. There's two things you can't do. You can't do no more training of your plant, and then you need to start the water cycle. If you start your water cycle, here's how you know. So you get ready to switch your plant into out of veg in the plant. Here's what you do. You starve that plant going into it. You flip it to 12 and you water it that day, and then you start counting. First day. If the leaves still perky and you looking good, you Gucci. Next day, don't give it nothing again. Leaves still perky, looking good. If you get to about day 3 and the lights is on, 12 and 12, they come up and they still just a little bit droopy. That's your magic number right there. That's your watering cycle. So after 2 or 3 days, you know it's usually gonna be 3 or 4 days water. Here's what I'm telling everybody. The plant, I swear, the more we grow this weed, it's like it's got a personality. Different weed do different things, folks. That plant will trick you. The plant on day one, if you don't know your plant, it'll droop over like you ain't never gave it no water ever. I promise you. They like it's just weird how nature works like that. And if you got a plant next to another plant, if you guys haven't grew, if you haven't had a plant that stretch one branch over another branch, you got to keep growing because these things are very competitive. All you have to do is I'm gonna refer back to the trees again. The healthiest trees is the tallest trees. You know why the healthiest trees is the tallest trees? Thanks for asking, EP. The healthiest trees is the tallest trees because they get to the sunlight the best. So they block everything out underneath it. A tree is so competitive. Just look on your street. The biggest tree on the street is the tallest tree because it's fighting the next trees over to get the most sunlight. If you do that in a little 5 by 5 garden and you got your plants next to each other, trust me, they in there competing like a champ. Here's what you could do. Use that to your advantage. A couple of my people like made like garden beds and they can't move their plants around. But if you are in pots, move those plants around in your garden. If you got one little guy who not growing good, put him next to competitive Joe. It'll do two things. Well, Joette, they all ladies in the tent right there. So you put the one that's not growing big, I would put it on a plant riser and I would get it next to the plant that's growing tall because it's going to start competing instantly. Just the same. You got that tall boy that's dominant over everything. You got to watch that because sometimes a tall plant that's already going just lay its leaves over the top of another one and just block the light. It's like a little buck. You ain't going to get no light over here. And that's what it's doing. So you can use that to your advantage. Uh, Going in the button too, you need to start backing down. This is the only time I'm gonna recommend this area around here that you start backing down the humidity a little bit, and start backing down the temperature. If you got it like that, here's what you're doing. We are imitating the season when we're getting colder. You guys that's in the bro science and like that, that's when they say you can get purple weed, start decreasing the temperature. My man out at Chagrin Valley, my man Ben, man, shout out to Ben. He starts like his last 3 days. He go cold water, really, really cold water, and then he water it that day. The next watering that go down, he would go cold water with some ice in it. Then the next time he watering it, it's like really icy, heavy, icy cold water, and he's imitating the season. So the plant almost going to shot. That last watering after that, guess what he'll do? He'll shut that light off and he'll leave it in the dark for like 2 days to let it know like it's done. And then it usually produces. And at that point, it's cooler in it. It's the coolest his tents has ever been. I mean, he's way down into probably about 66 degrees, 60% humidity, like lowering everything down like it was going into winter. And that is supposed to help produce more trichomes. It's a lot of people that swear by that says that when they're cooling it down, it produces like about a percentage more of trichomes. So it's very, very, very interesting. Not 100% science on that, but if you got time, try that out and give it back to us. You can always hit us up at SOHIGHO216 at Gmail with any questions. I answer all the questions. I make house call visits. I've been visiting other people's gardens a lot. I will make a house call. I got a few people that I look on their gardens for a contract. I'm always looking for a couple good people. I like clientele. I don't like customers. So if you want to mess with me like that, reach out to me and get any information. You always could just put any questions you got, send some pictures. When you have questions for anybody that's growing weed, we need to know a few things. What you growing in, what kind of nutrients you using, and what kind of light you using, and what your environment is. People in the Midwest, if you are growing without a humidifier, putting air into the air right now, you messing up. You're gonna be growing bonsai weed. It's just not gonna happen in this area. There is no moisture in the air. Ask black people or anybody really that's got skin in Northeast Ohio these days. We are ashy. I didn't even think white people got ashy until a few years ago, but yeah, it's no moisture in the air right now, and you have to stay moisture, and that's like good for your body too. Stay hydrated, stay moisture. You need to probably drink more water in the winter than any other time. That's just a little PSA from us over here at the Sohigho Gas Company. You know, it's a lot of things that's going on. We're gonna talk a little bit about the pop-ups ain't been up there, and Michigan changing. That's another thing. Michigan didn't pass that law. To me, it's holding steady right now. I don't think it's going to get tricked down because my buddy in Michigan told me that law right now is like that law is not in effect in Michigan. And what I found out is that the weed that's going to be manufactured after January 1st is going to be on tax. So here's a little key to you people who don't know the game real good. The weed you getting out of Michigan, most of the time is at least about a year old. Look on the package and you see the harvest date. And you'll see it probably be in processing for about 3 or 4 months if they lucky and paid all their bills. And then by the time it get to your
Does it go
shop,
bad?
it'll be about 6 o'clock. Say that again.
Does it go bad? Like,
No, if you keep EB got a good question. Do the weed go bad if it stay around for a year and a half? The answer is no, but you have to be wise about how you keep it. Keeping weed is like in a cure. So when you get it cured, then you almost want to stop everything. You put it in airtight jars. That's when you back in the vacuum bag, and they're gonna put it in the refrigerator. That's about, I'm gonna say more in the 45, 50, 50 degrees, 60 degrees relative temperature, and it will last for about a year in that station, all dark. If you are throwing weed, it cannot have light leakage at all. Light will destroy it. If you keep it dark in a dark place, in a dark refrigerator or a dark, me, it's wine cooler with humidity control, blacked out window to the point where I take all of the lights out. I don't want no light in there at all. I don't want to open up the door and the light come on in there. Take that light out. If you have, here's another key to y'all that's finishing that weed. If you got your humidifier or your fan in your tent and it has a blue light on it, just take a black matching marker or tape and cover that light up. I find this better with total blackout. In nature, it's two theories with that though. The other theory is that the moonlight come out, so it's always going to be sunlight, but it needs to know that it's sleeping. It's not going to be sunlight, so it's like that. Other people just feel like all the way blacked out since you could control the volume does it better. And in your flowering stage, which everybody should be about there right now, unless you're starting a new garden, uh, black that thing out. Try to go through, sit in your tent with all the lights on the outside, go in there. And it's nothing but some little black tape. That little tent with the little silver on the inside, they wear out. You can get holes in it and check yourself for light leakage and things like that. Uh, Fans, guys, whoever told you not to have air moving? We taking things for advantage, and I think you guys are not studying what you're going on. Air movement is number one. You always need fans going. You need constant circulation of air all the way through this process. I don't think you're not going to get no air not circulating until you put it in the jars, to be honest with you. So keep some jars going. I want y'all to check out my man, the Blind Bud Cultivator. Shout out to my man, JB down in Texas and his wife. Christy, I miss y'all. They got some. I'm gonna get him on next week. I think I'm gonna try to get him on, and we're gonna do a Zoom call with him from Texas to see how the laws is from there. That's my good Ohio Gromy. I miss him to death, man. Shout out to my man. I hope all is going good, man. That's my man too. If you ever make an excuse for growing, my man really can't see, and he grows a great bag of weed. Uh, Hold on one second. The doggone TikTok made me do the verification thing. But he is a great, great grower. And if you are looking for a hydro system, and I recommend that. A lot of people ask me, hey, what should I grow? If you want to grow easy, don't think about it. Just get you some DWC buckets. If they sell a whole kit, you don't have to worry about dirt and all of that stuff. You just have to worry about RO water. I will get a reverse osmosis water system. Cleveland water is trashy as fuck. EP over there by the lake, man, where we at. The sediment that's in our water is at an all time fucking level. I did not know that shit, and it's a shame. Filter that water. It's a shame because you're stripping out the good stuff out the water. But filter that water and then let your water bubble. People who not oxygenating their water, what's that? Get the air stones like on your fish tank and you stick them in the tank and you add oxygen to your water. Bubble your water like for a couple of days, especially if you got problems. Like up here, I'm looking at that water. It's got a ton of calcium in this water for whatever reason. No, I know because you put one drop of amino acid, liquid amino acid, and you can see the calcium falling down to the bottom of the thing. Keep bubbling it. Test that. You know, you got so many testers. If you don't have no money, I always like to how to talk about how to do this on a budget. You get the pH balance, and what we used to do is put a drop of your water into the thing. You shake it up where you put the solution in it, and then it'll change color. You match the color of the jar on the scale, and then you can see your pH balance. That test only costs, I ain't gonna say only $5 to $10, but you need it. If you're rich and you're balling on a budget, you get the Chinese knockoff electric measure. If you got some money, you get Blue Lab one. That seemed like the best one. And you want to check your pH going into the water. But that's the only thing you really, really need to check going on running hydro because they have a thing called pH perfect. What pH perfect is usually you have to balance your water out with either an alkaline or acid to either raise or lower the levels so you can have like a pH balance of about 7 in your water. Not too much acid, not too much alkaline. And that's the optimal thing. You add your chemicals into the water, bubble it, and then you only like have to fill that up like 1 or 2 times. But let me trust me, when your plants start growing, like after like vegetation side, you might have to top that thing off a few times coming up too. So yeah, be careful with the pH perfect though is almost like a good revolutionary thing to help out because we used to have to do so much measuring, so much that you put like uh Athena is coming along. I'm not sure. Let me ask Google real quick. Okay, Google, do Athena nutrients have pH perfect in it? We can ask a little Google to see what it is. But heavy 19,
No,
sissy
Athena
grow.
Nutrients do not use pH Perfect technology. pH Perfect is a proprietary technology exclusive to advanced nutrients. Athena nutrients are designed to be stable, but they generally require manual monitoring and adjustment. To manage pH with Athena, you typically use Athena Balance, a potassium silicate used to buffer water, especially RO
See what I'm
water,
saying?
and stabilize
That's a little
pH
too
for
much. So if you knew and you want to go to hydro, remember what I'm telling you, pH perfect. You can check me out on all of this. I recommend y'all fact check me, send me questions, send me ideas, because I know what I'm talking about. EP will tell you, I talk about this shit every week at nauseum because it's my shit. It's not like you in work. I just love this shit. Get you pH perfect. So if EP wanted to grow in his closet today, I would get him one bucket and one small, like it don't even cost him much. One bucket, one seed in his closet with 100-watt lamp and one hydro thing. I think he can average about him. He might have a green thumb. I'm gonna say he could get about a half a pound out for his plant, and that's with like a lot, not a lot of maintenance, no really training. But the other thing is always having great genetics. If you start with good genetics, you usually gonna end. Even if you fail, you're gonna fail up. That's the biggest thing I could tell you. And use a nutrient that has pH perfect. pH perfect from Cincy Grow. And my man used Heavy 19. Me, Cincy Grow with in Cocoa Core. That's my favorite. I usually don't even use the if I know that I got the time, so say in the winter I don't have no trips planned, I will just water by hand daily. I like it like that because I control all of my inputs and I can measure my runoff also too. So we got a lot of things coming up. Shout out to all my cohorts, the T's, the D's, and my homeboys, man. I appreciate y'all, man. My cohorts, I appreciate all y'all, man. Uh, Shout out to my homegirl, miss y'all. Uh, it's a lot going on. Look out. Don't forget, August 8th, title sponsor with us at the this year's art festival. We got the Voice of Radio signed up for us this year. We're gonna be broadcasting live. We got a lot coming up with the art fest. We in the planning stages now. I say about March we'll have a big campaign coming out. Definitely we're gonna have my man EP and the whole crew there. I'm gonna get my man EP back outside doing. If I gotta take his microphone around and we're gonna go do some EP around Cleveland a little bit more. That's when my man doing this damn thing. Fuck them motherfuckers down in I ain't gonna say that. Channel 20, I need some help. I gotta advertise. But it's a lot going on. A lot of things going on in the art world right now. Don't forget we got the mix on first Friday up here. That ain't as weed friendly as it used to be. It's a new bookstore over on Lorraine. Visions is pretty cool. Larchmere is happening. B-side is still kicking. Concerts is going on crazy. It's a lot going on in Cleveland. Just be respectful. You know, we won't get in trouble. Wherever they smoke cigarettes at, you could read, okay, smoking weed. Don't be smoking around kids. You're gonna get us in trouble. Gas stations, please start carding these kids and shit for these gummies. You're just fucking it up for all of us. Please, 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 please. Especially down in Columbus, man. My people down in Cincinnati, they report back that the bag down there is about a 7.5. They degraded a little bit. I don't know why that is. They were smoking about 8, 9, and 10s, but they going down a little bit. Columbus is still hitting. Shout out to the paper makers down there in Columbus. Columbus is banging the market, but right now, guess who's smoking the most? I got to give it to them. Cincinnati whooping her ass, bro. They buying the most. They got the most revenue coming out of there. I really think what that is, though, EP, is I think that's our Kentucky brethren coming across the border and buying up. I'm not sure. I think they got the biggest revenue going out. Shout out to the people at Bloom. I'm gonna do some secret shopping again this weekend. I did Bloom last weekend. I'm gonna get into another dispensary to give you guys that information out. And if you guys don't know what I am, I'm the first one on the Voice of Radio on the Tuesday Power Block. After me, we got Gemini and the anime. I said it right, right? Gemini on the anime. My man Jim.
Let's talk anime.
Let's talk anime with the Gemini. With Dre the Gemini in this joint.
He on every other week.
He coming today?
No, he on next week.
Next week he'll be on, but let me tell you who's at 7 o'clock. The one and only Al Porter's hip hop show. Hip hop workshop. Man, been going on for like 23 years, about 13, 14, 15 years up here at the Voice of Radio. Al is such a big activist, and I know he's got something coming up at the Cleveland State, coming up here real soon. So shout out to Al Porter and the whole crew, Suave Gotti. What the fuck is praise that, man? Damn. After that, guess what? We got the best damn variety show on the internet. If you want to have a good laugh, and I mean every week, we've been laughing so hard for about a good fucking 7 months running, bro. Funny, funny, funny. We have a good time. My man EP, Miss Mickey, I ain't gonna speak for nobody else. We do a hot mess in the evening. We should have a special shout out to my man Deshaun Friends from the open mic over at Dunlap's, the mic that doesn't end. Shout out to Ramon, all of the comedians, Stephanie Janae, TJ with Contu Live. Shout out to John Armstrong. Saw TK Kirkland was in town. So it's a lot of comedy stuff. Make sure you check that stuff out. All of the comedy stuff in Cleveland, folks, is weed friendly. So if you want to know somewhere where it's okay, you don't look get crazy for stinking like bunk, The comics is a good place to go. So check them out. Shout out to all of the people that's throwing festivals. Don't throw shit on August 8th or I'm gonna blow you up, man. Art Fest, August 8th. Shout out to Days, Cody, Red Lion, my man Harold. Guess what, EP? We also got tattoo party.
When is that?
January 31st. You want to see some ladies get their coochie lips tatted up, man? Come on in, man. They're going to be like, you ain't getting none after they get it tatted on, don't you know? Like, it's going to look sexy as hell, but you're going to be all ready to go nowhere. Now, that's crazy. But we always appreciate that. Like I said, man, don't eat too many gummies, man. Y'all really enjoy yourself. Stay aware of the law. Distracted driver is coming to things. Man, and y'all take it easy, man. Love on your neighbors, man. Protect each other, man. Don't watch too much of that news and shit. You know, you don't have to do all of that shit. Make your environment the environment you want to live in, man. It's about peace and love and respect of humanity, man. Take it easy, man. I like to buy the world a Coke and give it a joint, man, so we can all just sit back and have a good ass picnic one day, man. I dream about it, man. I got hope for us, man. I got more hope for humanity than it's gonna be blowed up, man. Let's just hang in there. Smoke good, man. Appreciate your plug, man. Keep that shit illegal, man. Make sure you support your local drug dealer. As usual, he probably gonna get you the best bag in this mug, man. Thank y'all so much for supporting us for all the time. I like to thank again the Voice of Radio, my man EP, you're on the boards, man. I can't say thank you enough, man. Shout out, we got some great things coming this year. Don't forget, Voice of Radio with the Art Fest this year, August 8th, 2026. Title sponsorship. We're gonna do big things, man. Tap in. If you artists, start getting your stuff ready to submit. We ain't taking no sucker lane, so we're gonna open it up. You'll get more about it. Shout out to my brother JJ. Fuck Parma for making me pay that fucking got me with the traffic ticket, bro. Guess how much, DP?
What?
260.
Hey.
260.
Hey.
That ain't right, man. 260, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Love. Like my man EP say, smoke weed so you don't punch nobody in the face. Peace. Love you, Facebook. All right, folks. Not bad. Appreciate y'all.
Good shit.
All righty, folks. I see y'all. Let's see how we did here. 65.
Yeah, immediately.
Huh?
No, I'm saying right after we do our shows, I gotta go immediately.
And save them?
No, change the. They don't let you change the privacy until after. So
on Facebook?
Yeah,
we
stay private until the show over. Then I make it public, which is bullshit. They started that, but
we ain't make no money, but well, this live is longer than the last stream. I want to come in similarly follow.
What did you broadcast on?
I went
What platform?
I went YouTube and TikTok on the tablet right there.
Oh, okay. Which one you using? Which to go both to live on both?
Oh, two different things. Three different
things.
You
going live on two.
OBS, OBS. I'm doing the Kathy. Yeah. You could do it, OBS do it, but it'd be like it's giving me problems now. Nah, and I put the plug in. So that one computer that got stole, worked it out.
What?
I worked it out. So I troubleshot it and had it all run and didn't really remember what I did, thinking I could always go back. Nah, man, I ain't got it back since. I had the right plugins and everything, bro. And it just went down. Shit, YouTube didn't do too much. It got like five on YouTube, but then they'll kick up though. They kick